What up, T Squad? It's me, Keisha, and I am here with this week's All Tea, All Shade Summer House Martha's Vineyard Season 2, Episode 4 review. Before we begin, want to say shout out to Preston, who got engaged. It was announced in People magazine this week. He and his partner got engaged. Congratulations to them. Before we begin with this review, you guys, please make sure to thumbs up this video. Hit it right now for your girl. Turn on your notification bell button and subscribe to my channel if you have not. And if you're watching this review on YouTube, you're going to want to join my Patreon. It's ad-free over there and I cuss. And you're going to want to join my Patreon also for my upcoming OJ Simpson expose on Patreon. It will be very graphic with photographs and things that I cannot show on YouTube. You will not want to miss this. The edited, tamed down version, of course, will be available on YouTube this Thursday. But anywho, so we pick up where we left off last week with Summer storming in the house like she Kelly Kapowski or somebody, child, just doing the most and saying, I need a moment. I just need a moment. I'm just so sick of Jordan talking to me that way. Like, I haven't done anything to her. Like, y'all whiter than the people on the regular Summer House. Like, what is going on? So Summer talking about something. I'm tired of harboring her feelings because she fucking sucks. First of all, ain't none of these girls on this show friends. Like, I really thought that they had some solid friendships last season, but this year I'm starting to see that they don't really like each other. Like, it's so cliquish, and it's like at one point somebody will like somebody, and then another point they won't like somebody, then another point somebody's friends, and another point don't tell her my business. I can't keep up. I really honestly can't. Summer says that she was there for Jordan when she was crying about her hair just a few hours before. I understand they were in the heat of the moment. She was mad and everything. You know, when you mad, you say stuff that you should not say. But, you know, she shouldn't have brought that up around the other girls. Like, that was a moment you were supposedly genuinely there for her. Then let it just be that. So as she's complaining and crying, Jasmine, Amir, and Chenise are in her room trying to see what the hell is going on. And Chenise up there eating chips and dips and farting and Burn, shut up. Amir like, I know you're lying. Did this girl really just fart and stare at me like she didn't do it? Yes, she did. I really like Chenise. Chenise is fun. She's cute. Like, she doesn't take life or things too seriously. Like, she's my kind of girl. Like, out of everybody in that house so far, I only like her and Noelle. All the other girls this season suck. Jasmine honestly ain't even getting on my nerves as much this season. Like, the other ones, like, they can really kick rocks. Noelle is in her room crying because she embarrassed herself with Alex, and I was like, oh, Pola tink tink. She was like, I'm about to call my mom. And I was like, oh, you can tell she's a baby. She's a baby trying to play with the big boys, and she just is not ready. She's not equipped enough. She thinks she grown and everything, but she still is a little pup. She's a little pup. So Jordan finds out when she comes in the house that Summer said that she had been consoling her earlier about her hair, and that makes her cry and says that everything that she does is used against her, and she's crying about her hair and stuff coming out and everything. And Jordan in her confessional says, why would you tell someone that you know I'm not on good terms with anything about my life, let alone something personal like me losing my hair? Now, on tonight's Watch What Happens Live, Jasmine and Summer were on there, and they both said everybody already knew about her alopecia. Okay? And then I'm just surprised at how Jordan is talking about Jasmine like they didn't have no friendship at all for the last 5 or 6 years, which it was very jarring to me that she was like, why would you tell somebody I'm not on good terms with anything about my life? It was like, dang, like, I understand you thought that she was doing too much last summer and not being herself, but what else did she do to you to make you act like you can't stand her? Like, that's a bit weird to me. Like, I can understand you having issues with the way she acted last year, But for you to just completely cut her off and just act like she's the op is like team too much for me. Like it's giving like, were you ever her friend? Like, I'm not understanding why the girls are really icing Jasmine out like that. She was annoying as hell last summer. 1000%. But she ain't do nothing to nobody for real. So I'm really kind of like, what's going on here? And I feel bad for her, especially knowing that she's pregnant. Her husband's not there. The girls ain't really fucking with her. That gotta be a lot. So the next morning, Preston tells Summer about Jordan being upset and crying and saying that Summer was weaponizing what happened with them in the bathroom against her. And Summer was like, that wasn't my intentions at all. That's not what I was trying to do. That morning, Alex went around to certain people and asked them, did they want to go to church with them? So he went into Noelle's room where Summer was at, I believe, and asked her, and she was like, nah, but he didn't say anything to Noelle, who was right over there in the other bed. Like, he didn't try to wake her up or ask her anything. So she felt some type of way about it. I guess she probably thought that, like, he, her feelings was already hurt from the night before of him, curving her. So she probably thought that, like, he, it's about to be awkward. He don't want to say nothing to me. So she was in her feelings about that. So Summer asks Noelle what happened with Alex. They're outside sitting by the pool. And I'm looking at Noelle like, you have no idea that this heifer is playing you. She only asking so she can have an update on what's going on, so she can know whether or not he fuck with you or not. Because if he did decide to fuck with her on any type of level, Summer would flip her lid. She do not want them talking to each other. She just playing it cool to save face, but she don't want to see it. So I'm looking at Noelle like, you don't even know women yet. You do not know women yet. She acting like she care, but she don't give a fuck. So Noelle tells her that she felt rejected. She was like, it reminds me of my dad. And she starts to cry. And Summer wraps her arm around her and was like, I'm so sorry. And, comforting her. But I will bet my bottom dollar that on the inside, Summer was doing a Dougie. Summer was funky Y2sin', all right? She was probably jumping for joy on the inside like, oh my God, yay, he don't like her. Like, because if he liked her, woo, it would have been game on for her. And I'm looking at Noelle like, she is playing you. That girl don't give a fuck about your feelings being hurt. She's happy that he curved you. So Noelle in her confessional says that, her father wasn't ever there for her, and that it's really affected her life, with relationships and men and her self-esteem, and how she's tried to have a relationship with her father. And I know that has to hurt her. That would hurt any girl, but I just wish she knew her value and how beautiful she is. Like, she's like one of the prettiest girls in the house, if not the prettiest girl in the house. Like, she is stunningly gorgeous. Like, you got it, girl. You just got to get it in here. After that, Noelle calls her mama. They're very close, and tells her mama about what happened with Alex and how, he was talking to another girl in her face. And I'm like, I wish her mama would have said, girl, he had every right to talk to another girl. He ain't belong to you. Y'all had nothing going on. Absolutely nothing. Like, you sound delulu and crazy right now, girl. I need for you to simmer down and act like you my daughter. Okay? So she get to crying and stuff, saying that she feel dumb because she revealed her hand too soon. And her mama was like, Noelle, stop all that damn crying. I was like, yes, mama, please get her together, because she up here acting like Bambi, all right? Like, that man owed you nothing, my love. Unless it's something we did not see, like y'all fucked or something. I'm confused at why you thought that he owed you anything. Like, y'all didn't do nothing. Like, I'm so confused. So after that, Jordan and Summer sit down and have a one-on-one conversation. And Jordan tells Summer that she felt violated with her talking about her hair situation with other girls. Summer apologizes and says that Jordan can be very angry. And Jordan was like, yeah, Yeah. That was like, are you gonna apologize? Like, cause just because you're going through stuff don't mean that you could just pop off at people at any time that you want. You know, or you can just walk around with attitudes and stuff like that. Like, get it together, please. It's like Jordan always got a chip on her shoulder, and she did not act like this when she was on Winter House. Winter House is another spinoff of the Summer House franchise, and it came on earlier this year, and Jordan was on that show. Jordan was fun. She was lighthearted. Everybody liked her. But then when she get on her own show, she's like, wah, wah, wah. Debbie Downer, always mad about something, always on guard, always got a problem with somebody. It's like, now it's kind of making me feel like she shuck and jive for white folks because she don't want to look like the angry black girl, but then on her own show it's like, oh, I could just be myself. Like, I ain't liking it, Bernie. I ain't liking it at all. I really ain't. And I got more to say about Jordan later on in this video. So they kiss and make up. Everything's supposed to be all right now. Okay. See how long that lasts, because y'all hoes don't even like each other for real. Jasmine is ready to share that she's pregnant. She tells Silas that she's ready to tell everybody. She's tired of hiding it, but she was waiting until she got to her 3-month mark, and she's only a few days away. So that's the reason why she was keeping it a secret. I was like, okay, now I get it. So Bria hosts her event for the trip. You know, everybody gets to host something, and she hosts a Bria's World where they have a picnic outside, and she gets some llamas and stuff. It's a fun time. Meanwhile, here go Jordan. Like, girl, pep up. Pep up. Like, this may seem harsh, and maybe it's because of the type of person that I am, and with somebody that has been through so many things health-wise, I'm just not one of them people that let things get me down. Like, I'm gonna cry about it, deal with it, and keep it the moving. Like, I can see if this alopecia thing with her was something that just happened a month ago for the first time. She said she'd been dealing with it for the last couple of years. So you gonna let this ruin your whole entire trip and let this be the thing that you focus on this nationally syndicated television show? Like, girl, I get it. Your hair is coming out. It's a big thing to you. But you have on a wig, although a busted one, you had on a wig, okay? It's not like your hair was coming out and you got to wear a scarf and a hat in the house. Your hair was covered up. Like, I'm just confused, like, with the attitude and everything that she got going on. It's like, girl, be happy. You're not dying. Like, come the fuck on. Like, chill the fuck out. Like, I'm just not one of them people that sit and wallow. Maybe that's just because of who I am, but like, that would have got on my fucking nerves with her. After that, Noelle ends up doing Jordan's hair. I think she put a part in her wig for her because she had the tweezers and was plucking at that wig, child, because there was no part in there or nothing. I don't know who she had do that install, but never ever again. Girl, it looked like she paid literally $5 for it to get done. And I really honestly feel like that was the problem, that her wig was a mess. I will stand by that. I think that she was really sad and upset because that wig was ugly. I think if she had a better hairstyle, she would not have cared. She would have been in her bag, honey, in her bag. She would not have cared one bit. It's because that hair looked a mess. That's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So, at dinner that night, they go out to a restaurant, and Noel and Alex sit next to each other, and they actually have a little kiki, a little laugh with each other. Baby, as soon as Alex said something to Noel, Summer did one of these. It was like she was an exorcist. Like, I thought I got rid of you, bitch. Like, what the fuck? She was looking like, not this shit again. Yeah, this shit again. Like, that girl is a mess. So Alex asked Jordan, like, what's up? Like, you been real quiet. I'm not used to this. And once again, here go Jordan. Why? What do you think? Like, girl, just answer the fucking question. Or if you don't want to answer it, just say, I don't want to talk about it. But all that bullshit you doing is just, ugh. Like, she is really irking my nerves. And I liked Jordan so much last season. This season, ugh. So she finally opens up to everyone and says that, you know, she's been taking care of people her whole life. You know, her mom passed away when she was a very young girl. So she was basically raised by her grandparents and her father. She's saying that she's racing against time, making sure she spends enough time with her father. And she talks about, you know, losing her hair and being single and how that bothers her and everything. And I get it. I get it. We're all going through things. I get it. But I just need for her to get up out this funk, child. She should have been the main one going to church with them, child. So Alex says, I understand you on a deeper level now, more than I ever did last year, because you were willing to share that with me. Now, he was being, you know, nice, trying to have a genuine moment with her. But Jordan got to have a problem with everything. So she was like, that's not true. You didn't understand me because you had my friend fucked up and I was ready to kick your ass. You had me completely fucked up with the Chenise situation. And I was like, girl, you had a whole year to address this shit with that man. You ain't texting when the show aired and asked what was up. You gonna bring that shit into the house the next summer? And on top of that, you got all the smoke in the world for these men on your show and for the girls on your show. But when you were on Winter House, you let Danielle ass punk you over a white man. Danielle straight up got in your face on some rah-rah shit, and you ain't had none of that energy for her. And then she came with the same energy at the reunion, and you still didn't have that type of energy. I'm just knowing you about to check this bitch, because we seen you get in action on your own show, and you didn't have none of that energy for Danielle. And I'm looking like, really, Jordan? So that's once again making me feel like you switch up, you cold switch or some stuff. Like, I ain't really feeling you with that one, bro. I'm really not. Like, because ain't no way you get to sit up there and let Danielle Mexicana ass sit up there and talk to you know any kind of way about some white man that you didn't even want, but you got all the smoke in the world for everybody else? Girl, bye. So then she says, you called me toxic the first time you met me. You judging me the first time you met me. Now that I get. He was doing too much. You know, all the guys wanted her milkshake and she didn't want to give them none, which is fine by me, right? They all were irking her last summer. And I get that 1000%, but it's just like little stuff that you're harping on. And I have to remind myself that this is a reality show and they have to harp on the little things. So Chenise jumps in and was like, yeah, you judged me too. And she was like, Alex was like, no, I don't accept that. He was like, I didn't Google any of you. I only knew that shit because of Nick. Nick sitting over there like, did this just tell on me? Yeah, he did. Because you was going to sit up there and just let that man continue to take the heat off of something that your ass did. And I could so see Nick being the one that actually Googled that girl and was looking up her business because he a nosy little heifer. He is a nosy little heifer, child. So he was like, I wasn't the one that did it. I only knew that because of Nick, and that's your boy. I brought it up because I was trying to protect her and let her know that people were going to Google her. Now, that was a bunch of malarkey. That was a bunch of malarkey. Talking about you was trying to protect her so you could let her know that people were going to Google her. People were going to Google all of y'all. She ain't dumb. She knew that. Now, that part was a bunch of bullshit. Just say he gave you the tea. And you was like, damn. And so you decided to look it up yourself or whatever the case may be. But you weren't trying to protect her at all. So stop with that. So Chenise gets upset and was like, you traumatized me, Alex. I have to walk around with this scarlet letter on me. Every guy that I talk to brings up that shit. My ex is trying to sue me for $20K. I didn't even want to talk about this. And I'm like, oh God, they are so dramatic. You would think we were watching Melrose Place, not Summer House Martha's Vineyard with black folks, child. So Jasmine asked, well, who initially brought it up? And Nick was like, we were having a conversation, I think he said Bria and Alex. He was like, but to be technical, Jasmine, you are the one last year that was pushing for us to have that conversation. And Jasmine eats it. She was like, yeah, okay, all right. So Chenise was like, I didn't do anything to this dude. He put my news out there and everything. And I felt bad for her because she was like, he was the one trying to make her look like she was crazy when literally he was the one doing stuff to her. And anytime you've had something like, not even like that, but just anything in general that's negative on the internet that's going to last for years, it literally does haunt you for years. It really honestly does. So I got exactly where she was coming from with that. It's embarrassing, you know what I'm saying? And then to be lied on about something that ain't even true and people think one thing about you based off this lie. I felt really bad for Chenise. I really honestly did. Oh, and let me say this, side topic. So on Watch What Happens Live tonight, Andy asks Jasmine and Summer, he asked Summer, did she regret saying that Chenise was the worst dressed? And she was like, no. She was like, because all of us had a list of people to reach out to for clothes, and I gave her the list and she didn't do it. And I was like, y'all hoes that broke? Y'all reaching out to people for outfits and stuff? Like, y'all can't go get y'all only there for 15 days. You can get you a whole year's worth of clothes from Shein. And Shein clothes is everything. Like, Shein is the business, okay? I'm like, y'all could shop on Temu. Like, I'm so confused at how broke these people are. Like, what is going on? Like, y'all reaching out for people for clothes. Like, okay, but whatever. So Bria then jumps in talking about she don't feel comfortable with Mariah coming. And says that people that we've had altercations with shouldn't come. And it's fucking with my mental health. Bitch, your mental health is fucked up anyway because you a crazy ass little bitch. Like, that little hoe get on my nerves. She really honestly does. Because that girl, once again, didn't do shit to you. And I wish somebody would just say that instead of arguing back and forth with this dumb hoe. She didn't touch you. You over-exaggerated the situation. Get over it, bitch. She coming. That's what Jasmine should have said to her. Literally. Instead of, don't nobody want to engage with Bria because Bria gonna pop off. So the what? Pop the back off on her ass. Her. Little funny little asshole. Like, she get on my nerves. She is a nuisance. And she act like she bad. Somebody need to punch her in her shit for real. Because she ain't gonna do nothing but call the police. Like, girl, get out of here. So Jasmine was like, I don't know what to think at this point. I feel bamboozled every day. Because apparently what had been going on in the house is that Bria would say she didn't care about her coming. Then she would say she cared. It was like a bunch of back and forth. It wouldn't have even been no conversation. She coming. If you don't like it, go somewhere else while she here. How about that? We don't like Simon being here. But guess what? He gonna come anyway. So, and deal with it. So Bria was like, I wouldn't allow anyone that put hands on someone in this house. And Jasmine finally stood up and said, but you're good with Summer. Y'all actually was throwing fisticuffs. And she was, Bria gonna tell herself, I suppressed my feelings for you. Girl, you ain't suppressed for nobody. For nobody. The only reason why you don't care about Summer coming into the house is because you and Summer made up right afterwards, I don't know who apologized to who. It might have been Summer, knowing the situation, because you ain't gonna apologize to no body. And Mariah didn't do that and will not do it, and I don't blame her, because she didn't do anything that needed to be apologized for. Like, your whole reasoning for her not coming in the house don't make no sense, because if that was the case, then Summer shouldn't be in the house. So you fully did. And I wouldn't even argue with her just based off that. You fully did. Period. Preston, once again, is just done with her. And in his confessional, he was like, you are always turning up. You're always walking away and not doing nothing, but pretending you're a hood. And I was like, Preston, why don't you say these things to her face? Like, the whole house need to check Bria, because she is an entitled, spoiled little brat, bitch. And she ain't about that life. And I'm sorry, at first I used to be joking about her being ugly, but her ways do make her ugly. Like, girl. So Jasmine was like, you came into this house knowing where I stood with nobody except for Alex and you talking to Bria. She was like, I'm going through a lot, and she started crying, child. Everybody just crying. I mean, I'm so sick of these heifers crying. Are y'all all linked up or something with your periods? Like, because everybody is in their feelings. My God. I give the episode an A, but these heifers is doing team too much. They need to go get a massage, pop a Zanny or something, listen to some Sir, listen to Renaissance or something at the time, because they were blowing me and I wasn't even high.